underneath one bridge. 10,503 illegal aliens. A mass of humanity that has crossed and is waiting to come into America. The reason they're here is simple. 8 days ago, the Biden administration made a political decision.
Hanging out under the bridge kind of reminds me of a Warped Tour in downtown Denver, as anyone remembers that.
Deportation flights to Haiti.
This is insane.
They did that on September 8th. 8 days later, these numbers appeared.
Holy cow.
On September 8th, underneath this bridge, there were between 700 and 1,000 people. But when the word got out that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were no longer deporting people who came from Haiti, suddenly everyone who was here called their friends, called their family, and the numbers surged to 10,503. That's what's here today. It is more than the capacity of the Border Patrol to handle. This is the result of a political decision. This is a result that is indefensible.
September 16th, we're here in Del Rio, Texas, and right behind me over my shoulder, you can see the International Bridge, where currently 9,200 undocumented migrants are being kept from Haiti. It's important to note that the U.S. government doesn't want you to see this.
Just walking
the
back
Biden
and forth.
administration does not want you to see this. So as of this morning, they established a federal no-fly zone to make sure that news media cannot fly drones anywhere near this bridge to document these 9,200 migrants that are currently being kept in a camp underneath.
That is absolutely incredible footage on the border right now happening. Welcome back, freedom fighters, to another edition of Break the Chains Media. Today is Friday, September 17th, 2021, and I am your host, Corey. We're going to be talking all about this Biden border crisis, this fiasco, and to say that the Biden administration was doing a terrible job at not only the border, but in Afghanistan and every other aspect of a presidency would be an understatement. This administration is an abject failure, and this just cannot stand, and this cannot last. This is a disgrace. If you guys, first time checking out Break the Chains Media, please hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. This is going to be a crazy video. I can't even put words in my mouth right now to say. Over 10,000 people at the border right now, mainly Haitians, but folks, I'm on plenty of different alt-tech platforms: BitChute, Minds, Rumble, Gab. Find me on Telegram at t.me/breakthechainsmedia. I'm going to be posting articles and information in regarding this and other things. And I could be talking about the Milley treason, the phone call that Milley did with China. I could be talking about that. I could be talking about the recall election in California. But I think this crisis right now is just too much. It's just taking over. It's just incredible. And this is just a glimpse into the things that we've been seeing, and as far as immigration goes in general with the Biden administration, because this isn't the first time that the border has been run. It's been constantly being overrun month after month after month, and I'll have the documents, and I've got everything to show you in this video today. But we're going to jump over to my Telegram channel actually really quick. I wanted to show you a quick article. This is what's happening right now at the border crisis. We've learned that the FAA just implemented a 2-week TFR, temporary flight restriction, over the International Bridge in Del Rio, Texas, meaning we can no longer fly our Fox drone over it to show images of thousands of migrants. The FAA says special security reasons. And that right there is just going to show this administration is trying to hide their blunders, trying to smokescreen us, and this is just an abject failure. The Biden administration is open, porous borders. This cannot stand. They're essentially, we know the plan is to try to destabilize and to influx population into America, to completely turn us into a third world country. Thousands and thousands of migrants have been coming over since Biden's inauguration in January, but it's been swept under the rug. Border czar Kamala Harris over here hasn't even visited the freaking border yet. This is just, this is all a plan, okay? The devaluation of our dollar, the influx of immigrants and illegal immigration, and just all of this combined and compounded to just turn us into a third world nation, and to divide us, to separate us between race, color, creed, religion, political party, identity. Like, I'm a guy for the Constitution. I'm a guy that wants to stand for the founding principles of our nation, to have a strong, secure border, and to understand that, you know, and you get the people in the back are going to say, oh, border crossings and border lines are just imaginary lines, and what are you, just some sort of nationalist who just wants... No, that's not the argument, folks. We're trying to make a point that in order to have a strong nation, in order to have a good economy, massive jobs, wealth, prosperity, strong communities, all of these things require to have an identity, require to have a sovereign nation, separate from other people. I mean, you can't just walk over the border to Canada. Try going to Canada right now and see if the same situation happens. Try going to France. Try going to Italy. Any of these places. If you're not a citizen, if you're not part of that country, you can only stay temporary, on vacation, travel visas, etc. But what's happening right now is planned by design. Planned by design. And it just goes to show you that the whole crisis in general is just an utter failure, and it's all planned by Biden. Well, let's put it this way: it's not planned by Biden; it's planned by his puppeteers and his masters. They want America to be destroyed from the inside out, and that is 100% facts. Okay, well, check out this article here. Okay, right here from the Washington Examiner: Biden's amnesty for immigration will only make the border crisis worse. And that therein is the reason why these migrants have been traveling by the thousands monthly. Okay? More than 200,000 migrants were detained for illegal entry in August, roughly the same number as in July. Of those 200,000, just 44% were returned to Mexico under Title 42 Contagion Contamination Authority. That means for the second month in a row, over 100,000 migrants were released by the Biden admin into the United States to go wherever they want. Supposedly, these migrants will show up in court to pursue asylum defense against deportation, but less than 15% of migrants who apply for asylum after illegally crossing the border are even granted the status. That means the other 85% are left to roam free in the country even though they have no lawful business here. Okay? And it just goes to show, I mean, this has been planned for a long time, and they've been doing this even years past. In Mexico and other Central American countries, they actually have caravans that are pushed by George Soros-backed groups to push these people through the border and create this crisis and create this destabilization of our country. And in regards to the global health crisis, that's a whole nother aspect of this influx of people crossing our borders. The U.S. will require all new immigrants to apply for permanent residency to be jabbed against the global sickness unless you wade across the Rio Grande illegally. The United States is now requiring all immigrants to apply for permanent residency to be apply for permanent residency to be medical procedured against the global sickness for their immigration medical examination. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service announced on Tuesday. However, the new rule will not apply to migrants crossing the southern border illegally. Check that out right there. Anyone crossing the border has the option to get the J&J medical procedure at various patrol sites in early August, but it will still be on a voluntary basis, and no one will need to show proof of the medical procedure to enter the country. That right there should make your blood boil, because Biden's admin just pushed out 100 million a person mandate for a medical procedure to have a job, to have a federal job, or even using your employers over 100 employees. Okay, but these folks do not even need to show it, and it's an option. In the statement in the new mandate, which will be effective October 1st, USCIS wrote, anyone applying to become a lawful permanent resident and other applicants deemed necessary must undergo an immigration medical examination to show they are free from any conditions that would render them inadmissible under the health-related grounds. Here's just some more footage. And I made a video a couple weeks back regarding temporary holding facility stations for people entering the United States or traveling through the United States that are health risk. And that's talking about camps in general and just being able to have the federal government forcibly detain you in certain locations based on your health. So that's a whole nother thing to get in consideration here. And who knows what kind of medical risk this might have on the United States. I highly don't think so, but it's the fact that the principle of the matter is that there's rules for us, and then this just gets passed by. No big deal. Anyone can come on in. No worries. It's all voluntary. Okay. It's a whole article here about that. Okay. Here's the article about the FAA. Biden is handling the border crisis as badly as Afghanistan. Texas Governor Abbott slams President Biden for ending deportation flights to Haiti a week ago, sparking border surge with over 1,200 Haitians now living under the bridge. Okay? The Biden administration is complete disarray in handling the border crisis as badly as the evacuation from Afghanistan, he said. Around 12,000, mostly Haitian migrants, have gathered in the Del Rio port of entry and the international bridge in the city of Del Rio, Texas. That was the footage from the beginning of the video. In recent days, a temporary camp, which was said to have ballooned after Joe Biden paused deportation flights back to Haiti. Now, under what reason would the Biden admin have to make that decision? Why? To answer me that, answer me in the comments, because I don't know why. Why would he stop the deportation? Why would he allow for unfettered, uncontrolled immigration into our country? This is ridiculous. This is planned by design, planned collapse by design. And I don't care what anyone says about it. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Look at this. Look at this. Absolutely unbelievable. They're just walking back and forth. They're saying, there's also reports saying that if they don't have water or facilities or food in the United States, they just walk back across to Mexico, get what they need, and come on back. It's completely back and forth travel. This is unreal. If anyone's familiar, if anyone's done research, under years ago there was a program called the North American Union. They wanted to have complete open borders between Canada, United States, and Mexico and Central America, to have basically a European Union, but in America, the American Union. And they were going to call it the Amero. They're going to have a whole new means of currency, all this stuff. But that was like a decade back. But this is current day. This is happening right now. They're walking back and forth. Look at this. And what's being done about it? Kamala, hey, Princess Kamala over here. I'm asking you. You're the border czar. What are you going to do about this? You haven't even been there. You haven't even visited. Biden hasn't even showed up. He's too busy driving around, getting yelled at by every American, talking about his Build Back Better speech. You guys check that video out too. I was there. I was 5 feet away from the president, hollering at him about the Great Reset. This is a plan for the Great Reset. This is controlled, designed destruction of one of the greatest countries in history. We have, and that's the thing, folks. People want to come to America. I get it. You can come here legally. Follow the process. I know it needs to be reformed, but if people want to come here to be an American, by all means, join, come. But what it comes down to is this uncontrolled, complete lack of security, lack of safety protocols, health, humanitarian efforts. This is just complete squalor. This is abysmal failure by the Biden administration. This is ridiculous. And lastly, we're going to end on this article here. The Inspector General says the DHS is putting staff in border towns at risk by not screening migrants for the global sickness when they arrive in the country. Why would they have so much happening and so much propaganda on the news to tell us one thing, one narrative, but meanwhile not even support and stand by those same narratives for these immigrants coming through our country right now? Okay? Without stronger global sickness prevention measures in place, the DHS is putting its workforce, support staff, communities, and migrants at greater risk of contracting this disease. The DHS Officer Inspector General wrote in a report released Wednesday. The report specified investigated lack of testing at DHS facilities. It found that Customs and Border Protection does not have the resources to test migrants who enter their custody and relies on the public health systems in surrounding towns to do so. The report reviewed how law enforcement arrest detained migrants at the southern border from March through May after being tipped through DHS complaints about the lack of testing. This has been going on for months, and nothing's being done about it. No one's batting an eye about it either. They're completely whitewashed, completely smoke screened. It's just terrible, dude. It's absolutely terrible. Okay, and we're gonna end with I'm gonna finish up because this is just point proven positive how this administration is just another feather in the hat of Beijing Biden's agenda to destroy America. Okay, he's a globalist puppet. He's a Chinese asset. He was sending his son over there on Air Force 2 back when in the Obama administration to secure negotiations with China. Okay, you think these people don't have a fail-safe? They're trying to destroy the greatest economy, the greatest country. All of our infrastructure, our jobs, everything is going to be abysmal, destroyed. That's the plan, is to make us useless eaters living under the boot of the system. And I refuse to let that happen. Lastly, I want to mention a local event that's happening here in Colorado. It is called The Conscious Resistance presents the Activation Tour, an event to celebrate and create freedom in our communities. September 23rd and 24th in Denver, featuring presentations by Derek Bros, meditation with Miriam Gomez, music performances by 33 Action Day Community Activism and Outreach. On 9/23 is the Action Day, 1 to 3 o'clock. We're doing a Justice for Johnny Hurley event at the Jefferson County DA's office. So anyone in the area, please, we want your support. We want to be there. And from 4 to 6, we're going to do a global or a medical mandate passport protest. So we're going to do a passport protest at the state capitol from 4 to 6. And then the following day, there's going to be a invite only or email request only. If you want to go, there's an email in the description in the link down there. If you wanted to come to this, it's like a barbecue get together. It's a really fun time. But this is the next event here, September 23rd and 24th coming up. Put it on your calendar, folks. And in summary, this is just another example. This is just Beijing Biden at its best. He is an abject failure. The whole system has been planned and to destroy this country. And if you like this kind of content, if you like my kind of rants and ravings and articles, please hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. Find me on all the new tech platforms: BitChute, Minds, Rumble, Gab, Telegram, t.me/BreakTheChainsMedia. Find me on all of them. Break the Chains Media, folks. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope to see you on the next video. And as always, fight for freedom.